Brian Stelter is a media reporter for the New York Times. He's the author of a new book. It is called Top of the Morning, Inside the Cutthroat World of Morning Television. He's here along with our own John Miller. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you.
Oh, so take us inside, John. You've been on both sides. Information, you're getting demand from press. You're getting lots of stuff now coming in from social media. And you're trying to make sure that the story doesn't get ahead of facts.
And before you even decide what to put out, and you know, I hearken back to my experience in the LAPD. I would show up at the scene of some unfolding crisis, and as Gayle King and I have talked about so many times on live television here, you know, there's a rule, which is the first version of the facts is never right. You have to kind of take it and say, this is the information we have, and I know it's going to change. Some of this stuff, even though it's the official story, in the fog of war, is just going to turn out to shift and change. And for police, that's a big challenge. It's not even about what they're putting out to the media. It's about their ability to understand the events, because it's all coming in so fast.
So we've had breaking news stories before, and we've had breaking news stories in the era of cable. But this may be kind of one of the instances where we've had a breaking news story with social media really at its, its current peak in Twitter. How much do you think that contributed to some of the mistakes, or was it just plain bad reporting?
I think what all of these situations are, they're heightened by the web, they're heightened by social media. And we have, in this case, in Boston last week, a lot of social media users retweeting the police scanner, right, which in some cases was misinformation to begin with. Names of suspects or names of possible people that were not even in Massachusetts at the time were coming out. Yeah. And pictures and videos. This amateur sleuthing, it came from a good place. People wanted to help, but they didn't know how to help.
They didn't know what to do. Do you think, John, that investigators feel pressure to get information out sooner than really they want to, just because there's so much pressure? Tell us something, tell us something.
I think they don't have a choice anymore. You know, there's an old model of this, which is, let's sit on this till we have something we're sure of. Yes. But in today's environment, where the media isn't going to wait, they're going to report what they can from what sources they can get it from. The officials have to become the source, even if they're in the unenviable position of coming out and saying this is preliminary and some of this is going to change over time. If they don't become the source, then everyone else does, and they know even less.
So what's the answer here?
I don't think there is an answer here. I think what there is here is a challenge. And I think part of the answer is what we did on the morning of Aurora, Colorado, what we did on the morning of Newtown, what we did on the morning of Boston, is saying, we're telling you what we're getting now, but you can count on the idea that some of these facts will shift.
It's about labeling, it's about packaging. It's almost as if television and Twitter these days needs a warning label that says, we don't know how accurate this is, but we're doing the best we can. And I think media consumers over time are getting smarter about that.
So much so that Reddit actually had to issue an apology because of something that was wrong on the site. How much do you think that citizen journalism now has crept into how they cover the news as well?
In some cases, it was very helpful to have residents last week in Watertown posting pictures and video, because we could see inside their community where cameras couldn't go. I thought that was great. But to have amateur sleuths out there trying to help, but actually in some cases hindering the investigation, that's something that I think as a society we're going to have to figure out what are those comfortable norms.
All right, Brian Stelter, John Miller, thank you very much. Great to have you.